Indeed, like ending a precious book that has become a classic. Through decades of surprising joy, profound challenges, and unfaltering commitment, Don has become a part of the fabric of Mount Mary. Living out his career at this beloved university became his vocation, didn't it, Don? His yes to an educational call that served populations of students hungry, whether they realized it or not, for the opening of mind and heart that he had to offer. It made a difference to the hundreds of students he taught and the many faculty and staff with whom he collaborated. So in 1989, when I was chair of the theology department and in need of adjunct instructors, I called Marquette. That is how I found out that a young man was about to enter their doctoral program and may be a good candidate for teaching at Mount Mary. At this time, this young man was teaching in Israel and living in Bethlehem with his family. So I called Bethlehem, met Don by phone, and that's how it began. Through the years, Don taught many courses, from Search for Meaning to the Sacred Writings of Israel, to the Synoptic Gospels and the Gospel and Letters of John. The course he is now completing is the Bible and Art, for which I suspect he has received some inspiration from his artist wife, Deborah Brooks. Conducting 12 study abroad trips, he taught early Christian Rome in the very setting where that era began. One of his many gifts is the ability to make highly academic language accessible to the average person. He has consistently done this, not only in his coursework, but also in the many articles he has published and in the chapters he is currently preparing for a future book. With his academic expertise and having lived in Israel for about 8 years, he was called upon for multiple interviews when the exhibit of the Dead Sea Scrolls came to the Milwaukee Museum in 2010. He was also asked to give a presentation on the scrolls, using his own slides and experience in archaeological excavations when he lived in Israel. That was a memorable evening. Some of you were there. It was held right here in this dining hall. Now, almost 100 people had registered for this event. But when the doors opened, the people kept coming, and we ran out of chairs. And I recall an announcement asking all the members of the Mount Mary community to give up their seats. I sat over there on the window ledge. In total, 847 people filled this room and spilled over to the north dining room. Dan Brower was not here at the time, so no fire hazard was declared. It was a magnificent lecture, one for which we will always be grateful to Don for rising to the occasion. We are so very grateful, too, for the service Don has poured out for the well-being of the whole Mount Mary community. Not only has he served on almost every faculty committee that exists, most notably multiple terms on promotion and tenure, but he also became the first faculty member to be twice elected as chair of the Faculty Assembly. Don has contributed to this beloved community by holding space for his colleagues, listening intently to students, showing up for so many events, being a thoughtful contributor, and how could we forget the erudite and creative invitations for all to join the Poets Gathering at the local beer garden. Thanks to Jeremy Essen, there's going to be one last one this semester, April 30th, and you're all invited. May that tradition in Don's spirit continue. A spirit that will remain in these halls and in our hearts with deep gratitude and love. Blessings, Don, on your retirement.